So we're going to start by applying concealer under both your eyes. Your concealer should be lighter than your foundation as well as your skin. So I'm using NARS Radiant Cream Concealer in Chantilly. This is the brand that I like for concealer. It's a little bit thicker. It also has the color that I like, but feel free to test out what suits you. Just keep in mind that this doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to be blending it out later, so it can be as messy as you want it to be, just as long as it's in all the right spots. So now that you've done the underneath of your eyes, you're going to move on to any imperfections or discolorations that you have on your face that you'd like to cover up. So for this, I'm using a stick concealer. It's NARS as well. It's the same shade as the last one, so it's Chantilly. This just covers up any little things that you may want to blend into the rest of your face. You're just kind of making it all one color right now. With the same product, you're going to begin contouring your face. So you're going to start with me drawing a bridge down, a line down the bridge of my nose, and then I'm going to draw 3 lines up my forehead. So remember, these are all the places where you want your face to be lighter than the rest. You're also going to draw 2 lines underneath the hollow part of each of your cheekbones. So this is the darker line. So if you have a hard time finding the hollow underneath your cheekbones, you can actually press your finger in underneath and you're going to find a bit of a dip. So that's where you're going to put the darker line. So for this, I use NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. You're going to want a shade that's about 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin color. Remember, you're blending it out, so it's okay if it looks a little crazy. You're also going to be putting it along the top line of your forehead. I have a lot of baby hairs there, so you're going to see me pushing back my hair quite a bit. Now we're going to start to blend it all out. So I use Makeup Forever's Ultra HD formula. I'm number 117. Once again, I'm quite fair skinned, so that's one of the lighter colors. My suggestion is that if you haven't found your foundation quite yet, is to head on over to a Sephora. They do something called Color ID, which is really cool. They take a picture of your skin and they can match you up with what one you like. You may have to try out a few. I know it took me quite a while to find a foundation that I really, really liked. But this is one of my favorites, so it's the one you'll probably see me using quite often. So you're going to start by blending the lightest parts of your face first, because you want them to remain light. If you start getting the darker color on your blender, it's going to start to be dark all over your face. So I tend to leave my eyes for a little bit later, just so that they are one of the lightest parts of my face, and then we start to blend out the darker parts later. So I'm just using a Sephora beauty blender. You can buy these pretty much anywhere. You can buy them at Walmart, Target. Mine's a Sephora brand one. They also make a beauty blender brand one, but it really doesn't matter, just as long as it works for your skin. Alright, so now that we've finished blending our face, we're going to put on some blush. So the most important thing about blush is that it goes on the apples of your cheeks. It helps if you smile a little, get happy. The blush I used for this was from a Sephora kit that I gotten. It's a color festival. It's got a bunch of different kinds. Mine's a little bit more coral, but some people like pink. Choose the color that you like the best and that looks best on your skin. After we put on blush, we're going to put on some highlighter. So for this, I'm using a highlighting powder. It's Josie Maran. And you're just going to apply it on the tops of your cheekbones, so where the light would hit your face. I sometimes run mine down a little bit lower as well, just because my cheeks come out a little bit more. So after that, I'm going to be using a lighter highlighting color from the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. It's a non-shiny one, so I'm putting this under my eyes. I'm going to put it on my forehead and my chin, and you can also put it down the bridge of your nose as well. It's just to brighten up your face a little bit. I know some of you guys are probably going to be noticing that I'm using a foundation brush to do a lot of these things. I just like it for how flat and compact it is. The brush is a little bit more dense than most. I just find that a fluffy brush doesn't really give me the power really where I want it. This allows me to put it exactly where I want it on my face, and it stays, so. And last but not least, we're going to be dusting some of the Makeup Forever Pro Finish Powder Foundation just all over our face wherever we haven't put any blush or highlight or anything like that. It's really good for blending. You can put it over top of where you put darker lines on your face as well if you feel like they're just a little bit too dark and they're not blending in quite as well. One of the most important things that I can stress about putting on your makeup, especially all over your face, is blending. It's no good to have your face be a different color than your neck or anywhere else on your body, really. You want it to look natural, so this also helps set your makeup, helps it last a little bit longer, it doesn't get into your creases as much, but that's kind of up to you whether or not you like that. And that's that.